Hi, good morning. Welcome to my webcast on SBL's computer-based exams under Remote Invigilation for September 2020 attempt. So what's going on? So last week, ACCA announced that in certain countries, they will hold SBL exams under computer-based examination format with remote invigilation. Now, the countries affected about this is basically Armenia, Australia, Brazil, Ethiopia, Ghana, India, Kenya, Kuwait, Pakistan, South Africa, USA, and Uganda. Now, there are certain countries who are already on a CBE format like UK, Ireland, and I have a feeling that ACCA might add a few more countries on this list for September 2020 based on the local pandemic situation. But that's my personal opinion. As of now, this is the list of the countries where SBL paper will be conducted through CBE and remote invigilation arrangement for September 2020. Now, this arrangement is specifically for September attempt only, and there is a chance that in December, SBL paper might be a manual or a physical paper, right? So many students are now undecided whether they should go for CBE paper in September or they defer their paper and try for December. My name is Sir Hasan Dossani, and I have been teaching for the last 20 years, and I am a subject expert of ACCA's paper SBL. So easy things first. So those students who have given CBE paper in any applied skills, especially F8, you should go ahead and give SBL CBE exam in September. There is nothing for you to fear about. You already have got that exposure, you have got that experience of giving a CBE paper. So you guys don't have to think twice and directly or immediately book yourself for September attempt. Okay. Now, those of you who have never given a CBE in the past, I will help you decide what to do. There are basically four things which you need to consider in order to decide. So the first thing is technical specifications. The second one is room specification. The third one is aspects relating to the SBL exam software. And the fourth one, but the most important one, is your personal specifications or personal competencies. So when we talk about technical specifications, it's basically about your PC or your computer or your laptop. So in a nutshell, if you have a standard PC or if you have a standard laptop, that should be sufficient for your CBE exam. Okay, there are certain do's and don'ts. For example, tabs and touch screens are prohibited. Two monitors or screens are prohibited. You can't have two screens or two monitors simultaneously. The minimum screen size is 17 inch. Now there was a lot of concerns about this, but please keep in mind that this is a recommended thing, not a mandatory thing. Okay, and later on in the slides you will understand why a 17-inch screen is recommended. Moving on, you need to have Windows 8.1 or above, or If you have an Apple laptop, then Mac 10.13 or above. But I believe that Windows 7 can also work because I got some feedback from those students. However, what you need to keep in mind is this thing, very, very important. Your Windows must be licensed. Okay, you cannot be using a pirated Windows. So this you need to sort out in your personal computer or laptop. The memory should be 4 GB RAM or above, which is pretty standard. You need to have a webcam, a speaker, and a mic. And Office PC or Office laptop is not recommended because they might have these corporate security features or firewall restrictions which might hamper your CBE exam. Okay, again, I repeat, from a technical specs point of view, there is nothing unusual. If you have a standard PC or laptop, you should be good. Right. You can automatically, you can actually test your PC or laptop and see whether it is, it's meeting the ACCA's technical criteria or not. You just need to click on these two options. And you can Google them, and automatically there's an automated tool by ACCA or by the service provider, which is Pearson View. They will run a diagnostic test on your PC and they will tell you whether your computer is fit to conduct a CBE exam. I suggest that you do this test right after this video so that you feel comfortable, and in case there is something missing, you can arrange it, and then you can rerun that test to make sure that your PC is fully compliant. At least once you know your PC is compliant with the technical specs, that is one tension out of the way. Now, there was a lot of questions I received on internet. Again, I would like to reiterate that we just need a normal internet connection or normal internet speed. Yes, it has to be reliable. Okay, so the speed required is basically 2 MB to 3 Mbps. And this is a very normal speed. And what is 2 MB or 3 MB? I mean, if you can watch a YouTube video on your computer, that's good enough. Then you can also give the CBE paper with the same internet connection. You might use a Wi-Fi during your paper, but remember, there is a risk to the Wi-Fi. If there is a power failure, your Wi-Fi will stop working. I think the ideal solution to internet is you try to arrange an internet device or a dongle, which can also work in case there is a power failure. And as a backup, in case the dongle doesn't work, just as a backup, as a risk management, you are also allowed to use your cell phone data package under a hotspot arrangement, but then make sure that all your calls are put to call forwarding. Right, that's a backup. But under any circumstances whatsoever, if your internet disconnects for any reason, your internet disconnects and you reconnect in a reasonable time, then everything is fine and your exam will resume from where it was left. So the key word is that you need to reconnect within a reasonable time. They haven't defined a reasonable time, but I would imagine it could be 1 minute, 2 minutes, anything less than 5 minutes sounds reasonable to me. So the entire idea here is that you are able to reconnect with your backup arrangement, and your exam will resume from where it stopped. Okay, and whatever time you missed, I don't think it will be included in your paper time, so you will not lose out on anything. Okay, same applies for electricity. You must have a power backup like a UPS or a generator. All right, but the best recommendation would be that you give your exam on a laptop, because in case there's a power outage, automatically your laptop will continue to work on its battery. But do keep the laptop with the power, because the battery will only be used in case there's a power failure. All right. Again, same like internet, in case there is a power failure, you can move to your backup and restart your computer. Okay. And if you restart and reconnect within a reasonable time, no problem, your exam will be resumed from where it was left. Now, this is as per the ACCA's feedback. But my personal opinion again here is that internet connection is a lesser issue. You can, in case you disconnect on internet, you can easily reconnect, right? But I feel that a power failure is a bigger issue, in the sense that if your PC shuts down and then you restart, I do have some fear that there might be some problem in I don't know, but just make sure that you try and use a laptop so that you don't face this problem. This is a bigger problem, restarting your PC altogether, as compared to internet disconnects. Okay, now a little bit about the room specifications. You need to be alone in the room. Okay, there is a room. And first of all, ACC has clearly specified what things you can keep on the desk. Okay, and you have to fully comply with this requirement, and the invigilator will remotely check everything on the desk and everything around the room. Okay, so what can you keep on the desk? Obviously, you can keep your PC or your laptop. You can keep your keyboard and a mouse. You can keep a webcam if it is not built in. You can have your normal exam compliant calculator. You can have a glass of water or a small bottle with all labels removed. And you can also keep your cell phone, but not on the same table. It should be placed out of arm's reach. So maybe you can keep a chair like 6 feet away, and you can keep your cell phone, keep it on silent, keep it on call forwarding, and keep the cell phone on the chair or on a small side table, whatever is easy for you, but just keep it like 6 feet away. And I'm just keeping it mainly because I would like to use my cell phone's data package as a backup for internet connection. I will create it as a hotspot if required. Okay. Now, um, if you are having a laptop and you are connecting your laptop to a LED screen, then the laptop screen needs to be shut down, because at one time only one screen can be activated. All right, so I think there is nothing to worry about here. And then there are certain do's and don'ts. You should be alone in the room at all times. Obviously, no one should be entering the room during your paper. No breaks allowed throughout the paper, not even washroom breaks. Now, this you need to be mindful of this. No paper or writing material is allowed on the desk. You cannot have any book or any paper or any pen with you. No foods and drinks except plain water. No headphones or earbuds, because if you're wearing your headphones, then someone might be giving you information or helping you on the phone. So no headphones or earbuds. And I think that if you feel that your own house does not have this kind of environment, then you can also try and use your relative's house or a friend's house, if you feel that the environment there is more suitable for your exam conditions. Okay. Now let's talk about the SBL examination software, the CBE. So again, the software is very basic and very simple. It's not complicated at all. There is not too many functionalities involved. Very basic, very simple. This is good news because you can easily familiarize yourself through a little bit of practice. Even if you spend like, after watching this webinar, you can, spend like 15 minutes kind of foreplaying with the software, doing some, flirting around with the software. 15 minutes, you will get the hang of it. It's very simple. Okay, so it kind of contains, you will see exhibits. All the exhibits will be listed on the left hand side. Then you will see all the questions: question 1, question 2, question 3. Questions are called tasks in SBL. After the questions, you will see answer sheet like a Word document or a Excel document and a PowerPoint document, where you are expected to type in your answers. They are called response options in SBL paper. And you will also have a rough pad. It is called scratch pad, where you can do your workings, or you can, plan your answer. This one is also online, it's not physical. Okay, so you will have these four things. Of course, I think there is a calculator as no, I don't think, I know there is a calculator as well, but I would prefer that you use your own physical calculator. And when you open an exhibit, it will open a window. Okay, so there is a master window, and then the master window is called workspace. And then when you click on a particular exhibit, that exhibit will open in another window. And then if you click on the task will open in another window. And then if you click on response option or a Word document, that will create another window. So everything opens in a separate window. So there will be windows, 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 windows. Right? So you need to manage your screen space efficiently, that you can switch between windows, and they're not too small, they're not too cramped. All right, so now this is how your software looks. Okay, so this is basically the screenshot of the software. Okay, so on the left hand side, this is the main control bar. This one. And you can see, let me increase it a bit so that you can see clearly. You can see the exhibits, and you can see um, introduction is there. Then there is first exhibit, website. Second exhibit is newspaper. Third exhibit is passenger survey results, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth exhibits. Okay. After that, you can see tasks or questions, and you will see that task 1, 18 marks, task 2, 24 marks, and so forth. After that, you will see response options, which is basically your answer sheet, and you can see a word processor you can use. You can use a spreadsheet, or you can use a PowerPoint slide. So this is basically your main control panel, right? And once you click, so I clicked on exhibit, and the exhibit which I clicked, so when I clicked on the exhibit 2 website page, this one, it opened here. So this is exhibit 2. So you can see closely that you can read, you can clearly read this exhibit. It is a rail co getting you home, da 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 da. All this information, you can scroll down, you can read the exhibit. Okay. And then I wanted to answer my question, so I clicked on the word processor. So another window opened, and this is your word processor. And now I can easily type here my answers. Now the good part is you can keep the windows simultaneously open parallel. So if I am drafting my answer, I don't need to type everything. I can easily copy paste from here to here. What did I say? I can easily copy paste information from the exhibit directly to my word processor. For example, I am interested in using this information. I just do control C, I go here, I do control V, and it will be pasted. And then you can quickly edit or add your own comments on top of it, and boom, you are done. So copy pasting will be the most important technique for CBE. So those of you students who have seen my webinar in March, in that I was talking about manual paper. In manual paper, the concept of referencing is very important. Referencing means that you write your notes or your notings when you read a certain exhibits. However, in a CBE paper, you will not be able to write anything, but then you will be able to actually copy paste all the important things on your answer sheet. For example, think that the question asks you to do pastel. Okay, so you're looking for political factors, you're looking for economy information, you're looking for information on social. So while you are reading, if you come across any information about the economy, control C, control V, just pick it up and paste it on your answer sheet. When you come across anything on political, copy paste, just start dropping in the information, and then in the end you can format it, you can correct the sequence, and you can just give headings and complete your answer. So copy pasting is most important technique in CBE, and it is a very time saving technique as well. And you see, so if you have multiple windows, for example, I also open a window for requirements. I want to see the requirement again and again. So now there is no space. Okay, or there's something called scratch pad. Scratch pad is basically a rough pad. It's just like another Word document. The only difference is that it will not be submitted to the examiner for checking. It's your own private rough page. Okay, so if you open a scratch pad, then you will feel that the space is now getting cramped. That is why a 17-inch is recommended. Few of my students said that they will actually connect their laptop with a LED screen of 21-inch. They will get an unfair advantage. If your screen is really big, you can play small videos. Like in my screen right now, I'm doing this webcast on my laptop, which is, I believe, 14-inch or maximum 15-inch. Yeah, 15-inch screen. So in a 17-inch, I think you will be able to do more windows, and in a 21-inch, it would be awesome. Okay, so this is how it looks, and as I said, it's pretty basic. It's a cheap software, that's why it's basic, and it's pretty simple, right? So you can highlight the key sentences in the exhibits, but you cannot write anything, that we already spoke about. And however, you can easily copy paste sentences So you can copy paste sentences, you can copy from the exhibits and you can paste on your answer sheet. You can copy information from your exhibit and you can paste on your rough pad or scratch pad. You can copy information from your scratch pad and paste on answer sheet, and you can do vice versa as well. So a lot of flexibility is there regarding copy paste, and personally I love copy pasting. I want to use 80% of the information from the case, all the facts and figures I will just reproduce, and I will just add edit here and there a little bit. I will add little bit of my comments here and there, and boom. So students with weak English drafting skills can also really benefit, right? Because when you are doing your manual paper, you used to struggle with your drafting, with your spellings. So if you copy paste the right information and just do a little bit of customization here and there, a little bit of editing, you are done. Saving of time and good English, good presentation, no spelling issues. Very good option. So as I said, copy pasting will be the most important technique to be used in SBL, right? Now, another very important thing, it is, now you can practice on the SBL exam software through the following link. So ACCA has already given you 6 papers. So if you go on to your My ACCA and then you click on look at the options, and then you will see CBE question practice options. When you will click there, there are 6 questions, 3 specimen questions and 3 actual past paper questions, and you can actually solve those questions using that platform. So it's amazing. You do one question and you will be the master of the software. It's that simple. Okay, so uh, and the more the questions you do on the software practice platform, the better for you. So this is the link for that. I suggest that after you watch this webcast, you go and look at one paper. As I said, do a little bit of flirting with the software, get the hang of it, and your confidence will go up. Obviously, whenever you see something new for the first time, even if you download a new app on your phone, you need to spend 5 minutes in familiarizing yourself. And once you spend like 15-20 minutes on that app, your speed is very good. Same will apply here. If you spend like 15-20 minutes on the software, or if you do one question or two question on the software, it will be like second nature. Okay, it will not create a problem. This slide is most important. So we talked about technical specifications, no issues. We talked about room requirements, no issues. We talked about the SBL examination software, no issues. Fourth one, personal specifications or personal competencies. This is the make or break. This is the deciding factor. Based on this, you should decide whether you're gonna give SBL in September or you want to delay it to December. This is the slide. Okay, so what's required? Your typing speed should be reasonable. Now, reasonable is a subjective term. It can vary from person to person. So I don't want to tell you how many words per minute you need to type. That's very technical. That's bullshit. But just to give you an idea, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being worst typing and 10 being good typing speed, your typing speed should at least be 5 or 6. So on a scale of 1 to 10, your typing speed should be at least 5 or 6. If you feel that your typing speed is not up to this mark, then you should not consider, unfortunately, you should not consider sitting in September, because you would really struggle with your typing. I know there is most of it will be copy pasting, but Of course, there will be typing as well, right? Okay. Second thing is very important. Your hand-eye coordination. Hand-eye coordination, looking at the screen, looking at the keyboard. And your keyboard mouse coordination. Keyboard, and then you use your mouse, then again keyboard, and you use your mouse. So both these coordinations should be fast. Very, very important, because copy pasting is a key technique. So you need to open the windows. For that, you need to click. Then the windows will open in odd shapes. So you need to resize the windows, put it in the right places, move between the windows, Control C, Control V, typing. So you need to be very, very comfortable with your hand movement, with your keyboard, with your mouse. This will only come from practice. If you are struggling, you will, get confused, and you will waste your time, and you will not be able to complete your paper, right? So the first two requirements, both these requirements are critical, do or die. Your typing speed should be reasonable. I'm not saying good, but it has to be reasonable. It doesn't matter whether you type with 5 or 10 fingers, or you type like this, doesn't matter. As long as the speed is reasonable, you should be good, and you should be very comfortable with mouse and keyboards. This can come to practice. So if you look at the software, if you do one question, you will assess, or you will understand yourself where you stand, right? And of course, you should be comfortable with MS Word, because 95%, in fact almost 100% of SBL will be solved on MS Word. Yeah. Now, Excel and PowerPoint, you should not worry. Forget about it. Why? Excel, I don't think is required in SBL. It is more relevant for SPR paper. There is no complicated calculations. You can use your calculator for calculations. And if you want to type in some numbers or some ratios in your Word document, you can just, there's a table. You can insert a table. There's an option there. You can insert a table, and you can put in the numbers. No need to get caught up in Excel. And similarly for PowerPoint, it says PowerPoint, but thankfully ACCA has just made a very simple slide. Every template is available. You just need to click on the slide option, as automatically a slide will open up, and you just need to type into the slide. That's it. You don't need to do any formatting or anything. So everything is pre-designed. Okay. So this slide is most important. Nobody talks about this slide. Everybody talks about technical specs. Everybody talks about the room requirements. Everybody talks about, oh, the software is this and that. But nobody actually talks about your own personal competencies. The first three conditions, technical, room, and software, they are all manageable. Me as a teacher, and all the other teachers out there, and all the learning providers, even ACCA's website, everybody will help you on those three things: the technical specs, the room specs, and the software issues. But your personal competencies, only you can help yourself. I cannot teach you how to type fast, right? So this is a very, very important slide. Now, how to practice SBL in CBE? Listen very carefully. I suggest, this is my personal opinion based on my teaching of so many years, I suggest first do one SBL question manually. Okay, manually. By manually, I mean do it on paper. Even though you are appearing in CBE, but from a practice point of view, first you do a proper question manually, under exam condition, under mock condition. And why do I say manually? so that you can focus on exam techniques, the referencing techniques, the linkings, the time management, etc. This is the core exam techniques. Okay, so I want you to do it manually on a paper, and then do the same question. Once you've done it manually, once you have it checked by your teacher that your manual answer is correct, then you attempt the same question on CBE. And this time, you focus on the exam software functionalities and trying to build your speed on the software. Okay, so you can adopt this approach. It's called parallel approach. First, you do it manual, and then you do the same question on CBE. You must do at least 2 questions or maximum 3 questions in this parallel approach. And then after this, the fourth question, or you can do the fourth and onward questions directly on the CBE software. No need for manual or parallel, but at least 2 or 3 questions should be done in parallel strategy. Okay, so that you can focus on the exam techniques and simultaneously, and then after that you focus on the software techniques. Okay, now what are the help materials available on ACCA's website? So first of all, there is a tutorial video on how to use the software. Okay, so it's a 15-20 minutes software in which they tell you what the software looks like, what are the functionalities, how you can highlight, how you can open up the windows, how you can move on to the next portions, copy, paste, everything is explained. You can look at that, and I think that other teachers have also done some nice videos on explaining the software, and I think that I might also do another webcast just on the software, explaining to you the options and how you navigate and how you can copy paste. I think it would be a nice idea if I do another webcast maybe in few days time. And then another important thing which we just spoke about is that ACCA's website, there is a practice software available with 6 SBL questions. You must do that. And thirdly, the ACCA is organizing the webinar for September attempt. It will be from August 10th to August 15th, 8 p.m. Pakistan time. And luckily, I will be conducting this webinar as well. And ACCA office has instructed me categorically that this webinar should be based on CBE format. So again, I would be solving the questions in the webinar using the CBE software. So you can also, take advantage or utilize that to understand the CBE paper. Okay, so in summary, you should only give CBE in September if, number one, you have given any applied skill paper in CBE format. That means you already have the exposure, the experience of computer-based exams. Or in case you have not given any CBE paper, then if your typing speed is reasonable, plus hand-eye and keyboard mouse coordination is fast, then you should give in September. Otherwise, it would be more prudent, more cautious to give in December, either manually or in case you are able to build up your typing speed and your hand-eye and keyboard mouse coordination speed. Okay, so with this, I come to the end of my webcast. I sincerely hope that today's webcast will give you an overview, but more importantly, it will help you decide whether you want to give in September or you want to push it off to December. Now, the last date for exam registration is July 27th. So you can register for July 27th. And then after register, even if you're not sure, you can register. After you registered, after a few days, ACCA will send you an email regarding remote invigilation. And in that email, you will have a choice whether you want to give, still want to stay and give in September, or you want to defer to December. So you can decide at that time as well. Okay. So for all the countries who are affected, the list of countries which I mentioned in the start, you can register by 27th July, and I believe you will get one more week after you register to take a final decision whether you want to give SBL or any strategic paper in September, or you want to delay to December. So you would get few more days, let's say till end of July, you can decide. So that's enough time. During this time, I strongly recommend that you log into the ACCA's practice platform of the CBE and check it out yourself, do one question, take a feel of it, and then assess yourself whether your typing speed and your hand eye keyboard mouse coordination speed is up to the mark. Then go for it. The rest, leave it to us, leave it to your teachers, leave it to your mentors. It is our job to make you prepared for September. But typing speed and the hand-eye coordination is something which is kind of a prerequisite. I am Sir Hasan Dossani, and I would be most delighted to answer any questions or concerns you have after watching this webcast. And you can reach me out on my WhatsApp number. Please note that I live in Dubai and WhatsApp calling is banned in Dubai. So please don't try to call me. I won't be able to receive your call. So you just leave either a typed message to me, or you can send a voice note if that's easy. And I will try my best to respond to you as soon as possible. I thank you, all of you, for taking out the time and looking at this webcast. Take care and have a good day.